Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Students for Liberty CEO, Wolf von Laer.
Welcome everyone to the 10th International Students for Liberty Conference. I see many old friends, new faces, and one movement. It is a pleasure speaking to you today, and I want to thank you. I want to thank the students that tirelessly stand for the ideas of liberty every day in this country and all around the world. I want to thank the partner organizations that have a huge impact for the ideas of liberty, like the Cato Institute and the Charles Koch Institute. And I want to specifically thank all of our supporters who see how much value we produce in the world and who support our students on a daily basis. We gather here for 3 days, or let's do it the American way, for 3 days, to celebrate the ideas of liberty, the achievements, the thinkers, the world that the ideas of liberty have created. And oh boy, do we have to celebrate more. Just 10 years ago, there was no student movement for liberty. There was just a bunch of idealistic students. They are here with us tonight. Sloan Frost, Sam Ekman, Alexander McCobin. Who wanted to bring people together. And they organized an event, and that was in 2007 at Columbia University, 10 years ago. It was the worst possible circumstances you can imagine. There was a blizzard going on, they were continuously on the phone, flights were canceled, they were really worried. In the end, over 100 people showed up, and they realized we need an organization to facilitate this, to help libertarian and classical liberal students in the United States. Now, 10 years later, we just trained over 2,300 people worldwide. And this means impact. I know what I'm talking about because I used to be a volunteer myself. These individuals just last year organized 98 conferences with 20,000 attendees. People who hear for the first time about the ideas of liberty, get excited about it, read iPencil, become friends with others, and plan huge projects for the future. Certainly, the world is not perfect, and we have to criticize what is going on. Protectionism is gaining steam. There's all kinds of attacks against the First Amendment in this country specifically. There's the travel ban, tons of regulation, inequality, and people getting killed because they have the wrong skin color. Yes, we have to point that out. Yes, we have to fight against that. And even us are getting attacked as well. We are now in over 100 countries. We have a huge impact. And one of our leaders and alumni, Jon Gonecochea, was recently imprisoned. He was imprisoned and unjustifiably in Venezuela. He, like us, was just believing in the ideas of liberty and spreading them in his country, and they put him into prison. There's a picture with him and also Alexander McCobin. We have gathered over 37,000 signatures, and if you haven't signed it yet, please help us to spread awareness of his unfortunate situation. On the other hand, we as libertarians have to be a more optimistic ideology, and that's what I want to make the case to you tonight. Think about this. Just in 1990, 37% of the world lived in absolute poverty. In 2015, it was less than 10%. Think about it, what this means. Thousands and millions of people now have a choice. They don't have to die when they're 30 years old. They have a future for themselves and their children. They can decide what job they want to take. They can build a future. They can become entrepreneurs. This is wonderful. This is what libertarianism is about. Thus, we ought to celebrate more. We will celebrate the next 3 days, but we should celebrate every day because our ideas are beautiful. There are many reasons why they're beautiful, but I would like to make 3 points tonight. They're powerful, they're humble, and they're optimistic. They're powerful because they explain where we are now today. From a species which was toiling around in the mud, barely surviving past 30, to a species which has commercial space travel, nearly everywhere internet, the iPhone, and great art. We understand how we got here because we have read and understand thinkers like Adam Smith and Deirdre McCloskey. Give it up for them. We understand why government often is not the solution because we have read Buchanan and Tullock. We understand that socialism doesn't work because we have read Mises and Hayek. And we understand why we need institutional diversity and competition to solve complex social problems because of Elinor Ostrom. Our ideas are powerful, and we have to awe-inspire others to see it the same way. Do you remember when you were the first teary-eyed when you read I, Pencil? This sense of wonder we have to give to other people as well. Just put your economic lens on and go into the supermarket and ask yourself, how the hell does all this stuff get here? And I can buy like the most boring piece there, which is like a can of soup, and I eat it and I don't die. And it's there every day. Thousands of people make a living out of that, collaborate peacefully in order to get you this piece of boring soup to you. This is amazing. There's a sense of wonder. Hayek used it, it's marvelous. It's a marvelous system, and this kind of language you should use more in order to excite people about the ideas. The world is a much better place out of freedom, and you are here to defend it, so thank you. The second reason why our ideas are beautiful is they are humble. Most of libertarians and classical liberals were humble. We understand the limitations of knowledge. We do not fall prone to the pretense of knowledge. We know that we cannot just elect someone and he or she will then create the best society possible. We need bottom-up approaches. We need markets. We need society and peaceful interactions to bring about a future that we have now and a future that we have tomorrow. There won't be a perfect society from the top down. However, I also want to make the case that we have to be personally more humble. Do you remember how convincing, kind, and warm Milton Friedman was in Free to Choose? We need more Milton Friedman and less Milo Yiannopoulos. And the third reason why our ideas are beautiful is they are optimistic. We trust one another. We trust strangers. We trust women. We trust men, LGBT people, people from all races and origins. We trust them to govern themselves, to be respectful, and to work with one another to make the world a better place. What ideology can say the same? Ideas from both the left and the right, if you talk with them through it, they always boil down to one point. I think I know what's better for people, and therefore I enforce my preferences with the gun of the government on them. That's the wrong approach. Sure, we can make mistakes. Sure, we make mistakes. But we trust people to learn from them and provide a framework where they can thrive. We are the only worldview that believes people can choose themselves what size of soda they can consume. And much, much more. Our ideas are powerful, humble, and optimistic. We here at Students for Liberty are especially optimistic because I have the great fortune to see it every day what young people can achieve. Our students, sometimes barely 20 years old, organize events with 500 people. Our students were at the forefront of the Brazilian protest, having signs up there, less Marx, more Mises. In the United States, we have huge events for free speech where we talk to both the left and the right in order to tell them why they should believe in it. We listen to them and then we give their arguments. We don't just yell at them. Our trainings are powerful and we create leaders on campus today and leaders of tomorrow. We have seen many of our alumni starting nonprofits, 18 actually. We have people who are starting businesses, people who are coming up with whole new projects, become business people, entrepreneurs, academics, all of that. This is fantastic, and they continue to affect change. This is what our theory of social change is about. I believe an optimistic libertarianism is the future. SFL embodies that. Principles like peace, love, liberty, and don't tread on anyone is what we stand for. This is the message that resonates with people on campuses today, because these are principles that most people can embrace, and that's how we start a conversation. Libertarianism is a hopeful, optimistic, peaceful ideology, and I'm very grateful that you're all here. We will have over 1,000 people here by far. Already 1,000 people have registered, just enrolled right now. And it is good to see so many old friends, new faces. We are one movement, so for a freer future, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here.